This game will reveal everything about this year's Clemson football team and even potentially the direction of the team and exactly how, I'll leave that word out of it, where we're at as a program. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Welcome to the channel. Glad you're hanging out with me. Here we are on a beautiful October Friday morning here, the 17th, armed with my coffee here. I'm going to slurp this in the mic to really annoy some of you. You think my commentary is annoying and overwhelming. Wait till I slurp. Never mind. I'm going to try not to do that. But anyway, hey, if you love Clemson football, hope you'll subscribe. It is free, and I do appreciate it. Last night, I had a members only. And no, we didn't put on our members only jackets. But if you feel inclined, go ahead. It was a members only video talking about Cade is not playing. Is he playing? Is he not playing? Well, first off, for the video, if you want to see that, you want to become a member, please hit the join button below, and you'll see it's really affordable. So if you want to do that and see that video, go for it. It had some really good people on there who was enjoying it, and I appreciate their support of the channel. Now, let's talk about that. Cade is listed as questionable, and by the ACC guidelines of this whole injury report thing, it's been constituted. Anytime a player has been listed as questionable, which means they have a less than 50% chance of playing, if it's a Clemson player, they haven't played. Now, exactly how many times that's happened between you and I really don't know. But if it's a Clemson player and they've been listed as questionable, they did not play. Cade Klubnik, the starting quarterback who everybody loves to crap on and act like he created all these problems on the offense and the defense. Sure, he's missed passes. Yes, I've been yelling at the TV going, come on, Cade. But, it's not Cade that, can break through the backfield and start to tackle a running back from an opposing team, and then that running back slip through their hands and run for a first down. Cade didn't do that. Cade doesn't call the plays. Cade doesn't develop players. So yeah, he's the quarterback. He's going to take a lot of the heat. But Cade Klubnik will be gone, and I believe our problems will still be right here. And this game is going to reveal some of that. Now, what do I mean by this game reveals everything? Well, Clemson's coming off of a 2-game win streak, beating 2 of the worst teams in college football. But at this point, a win's a win. By the way, if you have to think that way, a win's a win. And then in the next breath, you're going, how can we get mathematically into the ACC championship? I wouldn't be doing that. It's just not very realistic. But with this said, there are people who believes that now Clemson is starting to iron out the wrinkles in the T-shirt that is Clemson. And that they're going to take off and make a nice run, get to 9-3. Other teams are going to cannibalize themselves. That was weird to say. The ACC will cannibalize itself. That's what I meant. And that Clemson will end up in Charlotte with a chance to not only win their 10th game and another ACC championship, but implying that with winning said ACC championship, it would send them back to the college football playoff. Now, that is your right as a red-blooded, tax-paying American to believe that. I can't take that away from you. I do offer you a realistic look that a team that can't beat a good football team probably doesn't need to be and I'll leave that alone. But it won't matter what you or I or anyone thinks after tomorrow, because SMU is not an incredible football team. They're not. SMU's football team last year was better than this one, and I wasn't blown away by them. Go look at their schedule, look who they lost to. But they lost a lot on defense. Now, they returned Kevin Jennings, and in fact, yesterday, I previewed the game, and I talked about Kevin Jennings. Everyone's talking about his ability to run the football and everything. The guy's passed for 1,650-plus yards. He's not a run-first guy. He uses his legs to extend plays, to get out of trouble, pick up a first down if needed, but he is throwing the football and throwing it a lot. So, Now everyone is going to have to face SMU and face that what happens with SMU tomorrow, not being an incredible football team, but definitely could win this game. And now that Cade is out, it's going to reveal everything we need to know about the quarterback development at Clemson. So you take this scenario where let's recap. You're coming off of a 2-game win streak against two of the worst teams in college football. Now you have a new confidence. By the way, they didn't play complete games in those games as well. They were trying to run up the score with the second strings and the third strings, and they couldn't. So we have that. And now you're coming back home where you're 1-3 in your last 4 home football games, going back to the South Carolina game. And now this is the first decent team that you've played in weeks. So we're going to find out a lot tomorrow about Clemson and where they're at and if they've improved. And also we're going to see if Cade does not play. And for all I know, he will. But he got injured. He shouldn't have been in the game late third quarter when Clemson was beating the crap out of BC. Vizina and Pyramid should have been taking snaps, but it doesn't matter what you or I think. If you're like me screaming at the TV going, you're going to get him hurt. Oh, he's hurt. But tomorrow's will reveal where exactly Chris Vizina is in his development, and we've already seen it. No offense to him, because he didn't come to school to develop himself. Yes, he has skin in the games, but he's coming to the college game for them to develop him. And it's not happening. It didn't happen with DJ. Yeah, I know. Get your DJ jokes out. Go ahead. Then Cade. Cade was a bust. Now, Christopher Visit. Hold on. That's 3 different individuals from 3 different states over a different period of time. How many more quarterbacks that has to go undeveloped? How many more do you need before you realize there's a problem? I would like for the Clemson fan base and most of all the staff to realize that we have a problem not only there, but across the team with development and I'll turn 43 in 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'll turn 43. I would like for them to realize this before I'm in a wheelchair because I'm so old. And tomorrow will reveal a lot, if not everything we need to know about this season, about where this program is going overall, and what we can believe moving forward. Well, I already know what I believe. Some of you, you're waiting for tomorrow because let me tell you this, they get a win against SMU. Some of you are going to be on that. You're booking your tickets to Charlotte because we believe Clemson was a 9.5-point favorite yesterday morning. And then once the news came out about Cade Klubnik, they dropped to a 5.5-point favorite. Yeah, the line moves not that much. That news coming out about Klubnik really, really jolted the line. Really jolted the line. You get below 7 points as a favorite, especially at home. There's a lot of people, including myself, that goes, yeah, this is anyone's game. Anyone's game. You remember Indiana last week won by 10 over Oregon in Outson Stadium. They're in Eugene. I think they were a 2.5-point underdog. Well, what does that have to do with Clemson? You know what? You're right. Absolutely nothing. Let's deal with Clemson by Clemson standards. Clemson has proven that they cannot win against. Now it's went from you couldn't beat Ohio State and you couldn't beat LSU, and you definitely can't beat Georgia. The last time Clemson beat Georgia, my youngest wasn't even born. And he's 9. Now it's going to, if they're a solid football team, Clemson can't beat them. And we still have guys trying to do the mental gymnastics and the math to figure out how Clemson can get into ACC championship. Tomorrow will reveal that this team probably shouldn't even drive past Charlotte, much less go play there for an ACC championship. And I hate it for the players, but I've said this over and over. This coaching staff needs to be overhauled. This coaching staff needs to be changed. And tomorrow will be a good way of proving it. I'm not talking about Allen. I'm not talking about Luke. But after that, everyone is fair game. Too many inexperienced coaches, or coaches who's never coached before, or coaches who have never coached at this level, has made what you've seen. Everyone is so focused on Coach Sweeney being the one constant that you're forgetting the other variables, and there's a lot of them in this equation, and you'll always get the answer wrong. The answer wrong. So I'm just letting you know, tomorrow is going to reveal a lot. And it's a game by game for me with my Tigers. I love my Tigers, but tomorrow should reveal a lot. I'm going to get into the comments section. Say hello to a few people in here. David Woody, good to see you, my man. Will Man says Cade hasn't practiced all week. He's not starting. Someone told me last night, I believe it was Tim Reed, one of my members, said that somebody that he knows, I think it was Tim Reed, someone that he knows that's, I guess, is at the practices, etc., said that CV and Cade were both, or anyway, basically it looks like Christopher Vizina's starting. It was going to be bad with him playing. Yeah. I want to see Chris Denson. I think that they're redshirting him. Huffer Billy Paul, one of my members. Hey, Huffer Billy Paul, I know you're a member. Remember, last night I had a members only. You don't have to put on your members only jacket. Yes, I've wore out that joke. But I had a members only video, and I know you're a member. Go check out that video. Cade is not playing. I dive into it, talk about the article, talk about the article that I read that broke down if players was on the list from Clemson, they never played if they were listed as questionable. So anyway, go check that out. Thanks for supporting the channel. Here we go. Let's see whether Vizina has developed or not. You know, he hasn't. And we've seen this in the past two games against two of the worst teams in college football. And I don't believe he has. And so someone said last night in the live chat, well, you know, coaches look like they're scared to throw the ball with him. Well, it's their job. Not all of them, but it's, you know, this coaching staff's job to develop him. The ones that's in charge of offense, the ones that's in charge of his position, the one in charge of just of the team. Everyone from Sweeney to Garrett Riley. And Garrett Riley, last I checked, is the quarterback's coach. It's their job to develop him. So, you know, it's not Nick Eason's job to develop him. But yeah, he's not ready to go. Joey Cogdell, I would ask the question, how do we develop any player when we haven't scored enough points to feel safe playing second string and allow them playing time they desperately need? Honest question. Sure. Oh, I agree with what you're saying 100%. Clemson shouldn't be playing close with Troy. It shouldn't be 16-0 or 16-3, whatever it was. Vizina should be playing in the second half. Vizina should have been playing earlier in the second half last week before Cade got hurt because they wouldn't pull him for some reason. There's no Heisman Trophy up for grabs. I can tell you that. Last year and the year before that, games that they were playing close in, they had no business playing close. That's where they would get that experience. And the system has failed them. Let me see. I did catch the repost of Mo. I got you, my man. I want to see our team play hard for the first time since I don't know when. Sure, complete game. There's 4 quarters in football, and we're lucky to get 2 out of them. That's why he done tuck and run or screen pass. Yeah. Woogie Man, anyone who thinks Clemson has developed anyone in the last 5 years is seeing ghosts from the past. No one is better. Or when they got to Clemson versus when they got to Clemson. Anyone seen a developed running back, quarterback, wide receiver of Clemson in years? And let me tell you this, anyone who's about to say West Coast raw talent, y'all. West Coast raw talent. Moore's not having a near as good a season this year. And if something doesn't change, you mark my words, Moore will transfer to a program that will develop him, and he'll be one of the top wide receivers in the country. We'll be going, hold that happened. I'll tell you how it happened. Clemson has good players, so them playing good is nothing special. Actual development improvement is not happening. Ooh, boom. I love it. Dabo's learning slate really has flattened out since 2017, 2018. Yeah, I agree with you. Injury to Cade might make him stay in the pocket more, and I get a little bit more protection. I wouldn't even mind a 2 tight end set on a few plays. Use the tight end. Any word on K is playing or not? Right now, he's listed as questionable. And by the ACC standards of that listing of questionable, it means he has a 50% or less chance of playing. Maybe it's less than 50%, but I want to say it's 50% or less chance of playing. Hopefully, the defense can step up and take up the slack. And see there, Laser Guy, and I'm not picking on you. That's been the motto of Clemson for the past 5 years. And everybody started losing their marbles last year when the defense started, officially falling apart. The entire team needs to step up. And it starts with coaching. I think Dabo is going to do what he can with what he has for the rest of the season and make some major changes in the offseason. I think it's going to be good. Alex Patterson, I hope your optimism is true. I don't believe. I don't believe. But hopefully you're right and I'm wrong. Let me see. I still say CV is a better fit for Riley's offense than Cade. I'll head over to the members only section. One game at a time at this point, sure. Next season, Tate Reynolds will tell us a lot. That kid is on another generational talent, and if he sits behind Densner, we will know a lot about the coaching staff. Good. We'll see. Travis Hamrick, good seeing here, buddy. Mac Lambert, my problem with the offense is that we have a lot of players, but a lack of creativity. That's part of it. I hope they don't limit the playbook with Vizina. Get ready, my friend. Get ready. Because they've limited the playbook with Cade Klubnik. I'm talking about stuff that he's comfortable with. They've limited it. So if they'll do that with him, they'll definitely do it with CV. How much development or lack thereof of the quarterback falls on Boyd? I'd say 100%. Well, here's the thing about Boyd. This was happening before Boyd became some type of, assistant on the team. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening for a while. I'm going 27-17 with SMU winning, unfortunately. Good to see you, my friend. Good is the ultimate enemy of great. Yeah. Go watch it. Folks, let me tell you this. If you're a Clemson fan, you need to go sit and watch just clips of Nick Saban talking about winning, especially at coaching conferences, players conferences, talking to the media about, I'm telling you right now, it's a different mindset. You realize that winning is the number one goal to that guy. He understands that he has to put the best players on the field, and that's how you sustain winning. He realizes that he has to replace coaches he did have to replace coaches all the time because people were hiring them as head coaches. No one is beating down the door at Clemson to get their coaches, and that should say a lot to us. So I'm going to leave that there. Tomorrow, it's going to reveal everything, or at least a lot, about this football team, where the program's at, if they're actually getting a little better or not. Y'all take care of yourself. It's good to see you. I'll be on my other channel breaking down some games coming up. Go over there, another college football podcast where I talk about college football as a whole. And folks, if you look at college football as a whole, you definitely will see that Clemson is not that better, or is not. They're just not good, unfortunately for us.